Already, we have some rock stars signed up for Bold 2022. Guys, in the era of the pandemic, we are limited on the number of seats that we can provide. And so there are only 50 spots. And if you are not one of those 50, then you are going to be part of the 400 that are missing out. So please, if you are interested, we're going to have some links and some signups and some information coming out today. But you guys didn't come here to listen to me talk. You came here to see Tammi J. So please, Tammi J, take it away.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so excited to be here. Guys, like so many of you, I see so many faces that I know and a lot of the folks that I don't know. And I cannot even tell you how exciting it is to be coming back to Cleveland because, guys, we were all together in that Bold room. And I think we graduated. I looked this morning at the calendar. It was March 9th. And on the 13th, everything in the whole world like shut down. And so it seems only fitting to be coming back to all of you 2 years later in that same exact time span so that we can really kick off the year right. And so super excited. Bold is new. Bold is back. It is relevant to everything that is going on in our world today. And we actually did launch in person in October for the first time. So I do have some numbers to share with you. And I'm going to have you write these numbers down because I think you're going to be like appalled at this. So please write down 6%. And if you'll write them in a vertical way, I'm going to tell you what each of them are. So 6%, 22%, and 51%. And guys, let me tell you what those numbers are. That is 6% of the agents in Keller Williams in October took Bold, just 6%. All right, so that's not huge. And yet that's all we could get in because there's limitations to what the Bold coaches can do. And yet listen to what that 6% did and start to really make that decision that you're going to step into that because that 6% took 22% of all of the listings for the entire company. And this is really where it meets the road. They took 51% of everything that was under contract. So 6% of our company took advantage of an opportunity to transform their lives, transform their businesses. And all of you have that same opportunity to be part of that and make that same impact. And so I want to go back to January 1st of 2021. I know that we were all really excited to say goodbye to 2020. And now we're at that same juncture. And let me ask you a question. On the January 1st, did you set a goal for your business this past year? And I'm sure that many of you did. And my question is, at the end of 2021, did you hit the goal? Did you hit the goal? Were you short? Where did you end up? And by the way, if you were a little short on hitting that goal and you just took the number of transactions that you were short and you multiplied that by your average commission amount, what is it? What could you do with that? What could you do? Who else would it impact if I wrote you that check today? And by the way, there's probably many of you that hit your goals in 2021. I mean, this market is crazy, right? And yet, let me ask you a question. If you did hit your goals, or maybe you exceeded your goal in 2021, how's your personal life? And I know that's kind of an owie question sometimes. And the truth of the matter is, there's a lot of sacrifice that can go into being really super crazy in the real estate world. And so, my question is, are you spending countless hours on the business? Are you always on the phone or on the computer when you're at home? Is it possible that the really important people in your life may be feeling a little unimportant? What could you do to actually increase your business, by the way, and actually be present at home? And so, here's the other thing. And you know what, I'm so glad that you're giving me the opportunity to talk about this because sometimes we succeed in spite of ourselves, and it can be also due to what's going on in the market. And maybe the question that we need to ask ourselves is, am I, or is my team, are we succeeding because of what we're doing, or are we succeeding because we're riding in the coattails of this market? Because if we're riding on the coattails of the market and this market shifts as quickly as it shifted into what it is today, then we're in trouble. And so you all have a very unique opportunity to close that gap and gain back more of your time. So let's talk about bold. Let's talk about bold. What would it look like if you learn strategies that could not have you working to the point of burnout? I coach a lot of people, and right now people are burned out. We come into 2022 and we're full of energy and we're full of vigor. And yet some of you might be going, oh my gosh, can I do it again? Right. And so we're going to talk about strategies that have you working so that you're not working to the point of burnout. What would it look like to have 70 or 80% of your business come from your database? Meaning it's people that you know that are referring business to you. You're not cold calling. You're not paying for internet leads. You're not nurturing internet leads for a year before they convert. So how could you make that happen? How could you get more business from the people who know you? Let me ask all of you. What could you do to get more business from the people that know you already? You can throw it in the chat too. Or you can unmute yourselves. Yay. Oh my gosh, Debbie, yes, pick up the phone, right? Ask for it. Eddie, that's awesome too. Good job. Well, here's the thing, and Debbie, both of you actually nailed it. The number one way to get a better return is personal contact. And we know that everybody has the best of intentions, and yet what gets in the way of you making that consistent personal contact with the people in your database? Throw it into the chat or unmute yourselves. Oh my gosh, come from contribution. I love it. Debbie, no plan. Yes. Yes. Well, here's the thing. We know that it's because we're so busy and we don't have a plan. We don't have something that tells us to do it, right? Here's the thing. I'm going to slow down for a second. It is so much easier to renew, rekindle, and pour value into a relationship that you already have versus always replacing people with new relationships altogether. Guys, when we work in a way where we're always replacing relationships versus pouring value into the ones that we have, that's when we get that burnout. So let's talk about how bold helps you with that, because it helps with all of those things. I've listened to Gary for years, sat in masterminds with him for years, and he always says, bold is the most disruptive training in the real estate world. And when we went through this whole retooling of bold, he was the one that insisted it be all about your relationship that you have with your database. No more cold calling. So there is no more cold calling in bold. It is all about doing what he is saying is the most powerful way for you to build an amazing business and build that moat around your business. And that's through having a powerful database and having a powerful relationship with it. Think about this. Oh my gosh, Michael, if someone had previously built their business on calling expireds and for sale by owners, where could that business be today in the current environment that we are in?
I mean, there's not a ton of stuff expiring these days, and FSBOs are, they've never had it better. How's that?
How about that, right? Doesn't mean they're not leaving a bunch of money on the table, by the way. Did you all know that they sell for 26% less than people who actually hire a professional like yourselves? They think they're saving the 3%. So by the way, we're going to walk you through some conversations on that. I want to go back to the database though, because one of the reasons that we lose that return is that we just lack a system telling us to go out and do it. So we're going to give you that system. By the way, if your database is a train wreck, and some of you might be going, oh my gosh, she's talking to me. How did she know that about my database? Right? It's okay, because we're going to give you a system that works even in the most train wrecked of databases. And we're going to teach you how to get it back on track. The other thing that stops us from reaching out to people, and I just know this from coaching for so many years, is we just don't know what to say, right? I mean, it's a little uncomfortable to call people repetitively and say, who do you know that wants to buy, sell, or invest in real estate that I can reach out to today? Nope. Nope, we're not doing it, Michael. We're not doing it. And by the way, they're not going to pick up the phone again, right? They're going to pick up the phone that one time, and that's our one and only conversation. And so we're going to give you some great conversations that you should be having right now that are relevant, that people are going to find value in, and you're going to see results. I will tell you that what we just did in October blew my mind. The conversations that people were having are working. Guys, think about this. We have never in our entire world all been in a place together where we have the commonality that we do right now. We're all experiencing the pandemic. There's nobody that's left out. And so there's this commonality that really gives us the ability to connect with people. And so we're going to walk through some conversations that are working, and they're working at a really high level. Here's the thing. Here's what I want you to think about. My goal for all of you is not that somebody says, "Oh, that's Michael, the realtor." I'm using you as such the example today, Michael.
No one's ever said that, by the way.
I know. No, because you know what they say? They say, "Oh my gosh, that's Michael, my realtor." Does that sound different or what? Right? That's the goal. And when we have a relationship with the people in our database, guys, that's what they say. They see you and they're like, "Oh my gosh, that's Tammi, my realtor." Right? I got to share something with you, and it was a huge aha for me. So this summer, my husband and I were invited to a wedding of a past client, and they had kind of assigned seating, like there was a chart, like you got there and you figured out what your number was, and you went and you sat down. They put us at the table with all of their family, and I mean, we walked out of there and we were like, "Oh my gosh, that's when you've done it right." That you really poured value into people and become such a valued person in their world that we weren't there because we were the realtor anymore, right? That was really super cool. And by the way, we only talk to them 4 times a year. So there you go. So that's my goal for all of you. What else are we going to do in Bold? Guys, we're going to be talking about text messaging. We're going to be talking about instant messaging. That's how people communicate now. And it's no longer just the phone. We've got to be able to text, and there's an art to it. And it's not texting somebody with a text that looks like a CVS receipt. Do CVS receipts look really, really long in Cleveland?
Yeah.
Like they're killing a lot of trees at CVS. So we don't want to send text messages like that. So we're going to teach you how to send some really effective text. We're going to go through presentations. That's key. If we're not updating our presentations every year to keep up with what's going on in the world around us and what the consumer expects from us, then our presentations can fall short, even if it was working a year ago. And so we're going to give you some new presentations. Some of you may have heard about the golden letter. We're going to walk you through how to use the golden letter at a really high level. We're going to engineer ways to have 100 people calling you, something called a reverse bold 100. By the way, I think that we should be calling it the reverse bold 500, because that's what I was seeing this past round of bold. I was like, can you imagine 500 people calling you in one day? Right? It's pretty mind blowing. It's pretty cool too. That's pretty fun. We're also going to teach you some time management skills. This past week, I was watching the Today Show in the morning as kind of background noise. And I kid you not, I took pictures of the TV because it said what was trending on TikTok was time management. It was trending on TikTok. Y'all, we've been teaching time management forever, right? Because success is found in your schedule and what you do in how you spend your time. So we're going to teach you how to do it and do it at a really high level. We're going to be teaching you how to think. And oh my gosh, guys, so much more, so much more. Write this down. The average agent going through Bold does 11 transactions over the course of that 7 weeks. We have changed the time frame. If you've been through Bold before, you know that it was the 7 weeks, the 7 sessions. It still is. It was from 8:30 to 3:30. Now, day 1 is going to be from 9 to noon. And the future sessions, steps 2 through 7, will be from 9 to 2:30. Now, sometimes our brains go, oh my gosh, what are they taking out? And here's the cool thing. We didn't take a darn thing out of there. We are just jam packing so much goodness into there that I felt like I looked up every day and it was 2 o'clock and I was like, wow. And everybody else felt the same way. So we've retooled it in a way that's going to make it effective. It's going to make it easier to get kids on the bus and get kids off the bus. And that was really the purpose behind the whole thing, was to help folks that have kids in school. So in the end, guys, here's my intention for all of you, that every single one of you that I see in Hollywood Squares here today are part of the 6% who choose you. You choose that you're going to be better, badder, bigger, and you're going to think so big that at the end of this year, you're going to be like, whoa, right? I am so glad I was at that meeting today. You're going to be part of that 6% that choose that. It's all about gaining more business, more time, or both, by the way. It's about becoming the best you that you can be. Can I share my screen for a second? Would that be okay? Do we have time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So let me do that. So let me share my screen.
While you're getting that set up, I think, my mind goes immediately to this idea. 6% of the agents in our company in the fourth quarter did 51%, put 51% of the deals under contract. And, if I'm a newer agent, hell, if I'm an agent at any stage in the game, my immediate thought might be, well, that's just because probably the best agents were in that 6%. But well, think about this though, Tammy. If that's what the best agents are doing with their time, energy, and resources, is showing up to Bold in the fourth quarter, and we have the opportunity to be in that same room in the first quarter, and we all know what impact a strong first quarter has on our year as we roll into spring market. If that's what the top agents are doing, why wouldn't we want to do it?
Oh, amen. I mean, here's the thing, for us to be on track to hit our goals this year, we have to have 15% of it under contract right now. Did you all know that? 15%. So that was the push for that last quarter, is to get that 15% under contract, enjoy the holidays, and come back in and know that you just absolutely crushed and filled your pipeline. I had a brand new agent in Atlanta. I was in 2 different locations in Atlanta, and brand new agent put 19 pieces of business under contract in that 7 weeks. And, I asked her at the end, I said, so, Julia, tell me, what did you do? And she was really embarrassed. I mean, because she had been in the business for 4 weeks. And she said, well, I didn't know what not to do, so I just did what you asked me to do. And there you go. So, we all need a checkup from the neck up. Our businesses all need invigorated, whether you've been in the business for 20 years like myself, or you're brand new in the business. Everybody needs Bold. And I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen results like it. And so watch this. I want to share something with you. And we do talk about this a little bit in Bold, and yet I think it's worth watching. When we talk about improving ourselves, I want you to think about what the motive or the message is in this. So just watch this for a second.
Let's be real. But if I cannot win, that be brave in the attempt.
Those are the words that carried Chris Nikic on his Ironman journey, a quest that started before the pandemic and ended on November 7th in Panama City Beach.
Chris Nikic,
Chris, what was that experience like for you crossing that finish line?
I felt like I did very moment. I did not dream.
Special Olympics Florida shared this video with us. Chris crossing the finish line, becoming the first person with Down syndrome to complete the full 140-mile triathlon. He was already the first to finish a half Ironman, conquering that race back in May. But all of this started about 13 months ago, after he finished last in a race at the Special Olympics, went out to Lucky's Lake Swim, and completed that 1-kilometer trial.
And he wrote on the wall, we have a picture of it that says Chris World Champ. And at that point I looked at him and I said, why not? Why can't we find something for you to be a world champ at?
What time did Chris tell him? Good time. Chris had a couple setbacks during the Ironman race. With 70 miles to go in the bike ride, he was attacked by ants during a short rest, and also scraped his leg after falling on his bike.
My fear was that mentally he wasn't going to be able to recover. Because last time he fell off his bike, it took him a month to recover.
But Chris did make it. Combined, the ocean swim, bike ride, and marathon took 16 hours, 46 minutes, and 9 seconds. But this moment at the finish line, with hugs from everyone who helped him get there, will last forever.
Honestly, I felt at peace, like something good was happening and he was making a difference in the world for people like us. And I can't tell you how many parents came up to me during the race who sought us out and just cried on my shoulder and told us how wonderful this was for their kids.
Hundreds of thousands watched his race live on Facebook, and anyone who missed it will get another chance, because the finish line was not the end. Chris plans to do more Ironmans and expand his career as a motivational speaker. He's also received several endorsement deals and is writing a book with his dad about his strategy in life, getting 1% better every day and helping to keep
Central Florida strong.
Oh my gosh. All right. So let me close that and stop the share. So, oh, I knew it was going to do that. Hang on a second. Let me. Whoop. All right. There we go. All right. So let me ask all of you. I mean, what were your biggest takeaways? What was the lesson in that? Because there's a big one. What was his motto? Did y'all hear? Just 1% better every day, right? He didn't give up, Tamra. Absolutely. 1% better every day. And so, again, I look at where we are and why I'm here and why I'm so incredibly excited to be coming to Cleveland. And guys, it's to help you become that 1% better every day. Sometimes when we look at something and we say, you know what, I want to increase my business by 25%. It sounds great. And then it's how do we impact that today? And it's because every single thing that we do every day impacts that end result. And it's just those tiny little increments. And Bold is literally meant to help you do that. And so I'm going to do something. Can I throw something into the chat?
Absolutely.
Okay. Let me copy it first. Isn't it crazy how much we've learned about all this? All right. So there you go. I just put the registration link to take advantage of one of those 50 seats in the chat box. And guys, I'm going to encourage you to do that. In fact, I'm going to ask you to take a moment to invest in yourselves, because if you don't invest in yourselves, then who better to invest in? And so anything else that I want to make sure I allow some time for questions. Those of you who haven't been through Bold before, any questions for me? And then I would love to get your thoughts.
Don't be shy, guys. Feel free to use the chat box or just unmute yourself if you have a question.
Yeah. It is, Michelle, that's a great question. It is Wednesday every week, with the exception of the very last week. It will be on Thursday. So that's a great one. We do, when we start, let me go back, because January does have a little bit of a weird schedule. We always have the first session, which is, I'm going to say the 18th or 19th. It might be the 18th, I think, of January, whatever that Wednesday is. Then we have a skip week, and then we come back and we go straight through, except we will be skipping the week of family reunion. So we will end, I think we actually end on St. Patrick's Day. That's a pretty cool way to celebrate a graduation, right?
This group does like to celebrate, so I imagine that we'll have a little bit of fun following that last session.
Well, I grew up in Northeast Ohio, so you all are pretty special to me. So.
Yeah, you kind of buried the lead on that one, Tammy. You're, it's not like we have somebody coming in from San Francisco to talk about their $1.2 million average sales price. This is where you cut your teeth, right?
It is. I grew up there. My family are still there. In fact, when I moved to North Carolina, I lived in Greene at the time. I'd moved from, I've been all over the place up in Northeast Ohio. So I grew up in a little town called Salem, if you even know where that is. I grew up on a farm out in Salem. So I'm proof that a little farm girl can go achieve whatever you put your heart and mind to, right? Coming out of a class of less than 100 people in my graduating class in high school. So yeah, yes, it is. Oh, they're asking about how many sessions of Bold, not all in your area. Yeah, we do launch Bold 5 times a year. It does not come to your area, however, all 5 times.
Yeah. So typically, I think just historically in recent years, we've done anywhere from 1 to 2. You know, with the way the world operates today, I wouldn't leave anything for later on in the year. And there's a reason, guys, that we focused on getting this Bold launch versus any other. And the reason is that how you start the year is so critical, regardless of where you're at in the business, to get into the right habits, get into the right communication cycles, develop the right systems, and start living the way that you need to the entire year. Versus trying to come in July and disrupt maybe some habits that are, showed up after the New Year's resolutions went away. We want to really dovetail this launch with what you want to do for the year.
Yes, absolutely. And I see some questions about makeup sessions.
Yeah, this is new, right?
Yes, well, we did it the last launch, and I did reach out for some clarification this morning, and I do not yet have clarification. So this last launch, because of illnesses and vacations and whatnot, we did have an extra Thursday session on Thursday afternoons from 2 to 5 Eastern every week. So if you missed that, excuse me, that week's session, you didn't really miss it. I mean, it was a condensed version because it was done digitally. However, it really allowed everybody to stay on track and not miss anything. So I feel certain we'll figure out how to make that happen. So I wouldn't think twice about it. It was really, really successful. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything that you and the team at Maps do, it's you find a way. Sorry, right. Eddie Donnelly, what do you got, man?
Yeah, I was going to say I can speak to that. I actually took Bold this last session, and I was out due to COVID, and I was able to make it up that Thursday, and it was all the material done digitally, and you've got people from all over the country actually in that digital makeup group. I had people in my group from Alaska and Chicago and all over. So it was actually a great networking opportunity too, by missing the actual Bold in person.
Yeah. Let's not miss it to do that. And that's a great point though. Yeah. I had several people. I did 3 sessions of Bold in October, and I had several people that were in it. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Oh, Brian, you're already signed up and now you're pumped up even more. I'm so excited about that. Well, here's the thing. I mean, I know people get so excited on graduation day, and I nearly boohoo like a baby. I just get so hooked on everybody. I get to know you. I get to watch your numbers. I get to watch you grow. And it's pretty phenomenal. I'm pretty honored to be able to lead you through it. So here's the thing, guys. Take the leap, jump in, don't wait. You know, that becomes a habit, right? We are always like, oh, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. And then we never become the best versions of ourselves. Growth is never comfortable. It's uncomfortable. And you get uncomfortable this first quarter of the year, you're liable to just blow the doors off of what you thought was capable, or possible rather, this year. So I'm there to make sure that we do that and support you. I am not just a coach that's there during Bold. I'm always going to be available to you. You have me for it's actually 9 weeks, because we're off those 2 weeks, the one of family reunion and the one in between. So I always make myself available, and I'm there to be your coach. And I've been a coach for, oh my gosh, I think I'm going on 9 years now, right? With Maps. And then I am the co-coach of Never Ending Referrals, which is where DTD2, I saw some of you mention DTD2, and a lot of the content that is around the database came from Steve Schlueter and I's program. So you're literally getting the author of that into your Bold as well. So I'm pretty versed on it. Production is my jam, and database is where it's at, guys.
Love that. Love that so much. And Tammi, for somebody who's like, hey, this all sounds great, I'm pumped up, but what's the headline as to what is bold? Is it mindset? Is it accountability? Is it scripts? Is it all the above?
Well, it's all of those things. There's two things that we can control in our lives. It's our mindset and our actions. That's it. I mean, literally. And so we are going to encompass all of that. We're going to talk about focusing on what you can control versus what you can't, because we tend to focus on what we can't control, by the way. It's just human nature. And yet there are tools that you can use that help you think better. So it's very much mindset. That's what makes this program so much more successful than any other real estate sales, if you will, training out there. Is we're not just going to teach you the skills. The problem with most programs, Michael, is they don't teach you how to think about what it is that you're doing. So when they teach you the skills and you have mindset barriers around taking action on that, then we don't take the action because we haven't worked through what the hurdle is in our minds. And so, it's really all about the mindset before the actions.
Yeah, that is so great and so right. And
Yeah.
so propelled by the idea that you're in the room with your peers and you're getting peer accountability and peer support, right? What do we always say? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. And make no mistake, guys, this is a place where you get into really strong relationships with the other individuals in your bold groups, with the other individuals in this office. And when we talk about culture as a company, this is a way that it comes to life unlike any other.
Sorry, my dog is on my lap.
Right.
She's usually really, really like chill. So it is. Accountability is the breakfast of champions. I mean, it's why when you join a gym with a friend. It's why you do those things, because the buddy system works. And that's the secret sauce in bold is that accountability. So we're going to teach you some habits and really get you far. So Diva's going to say hello. This is Diva. You can't even see her, right? Because yeah, she's my little schnoodle. Yeah. So any other questions? I'm going to see you all there. Yes. Give me a big thumbs up. You can use the little emojis at the bottom, right? Make sure you take those 50 seats, because you're not the only market center in this bold, guys. So you are the first ones that I'm speaking to in this fashion, though. So you have a unique opportunity, because I'm jumping off of this one and I'm jumping right into the next team meeting. So you guys are the first ones to get the shot at those seats. So make sure that you do that. Reach out to me. Let me put my email address in here. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. In fact, I'll give you my cell too, and you can text me, call or text. Text is actually better, just because I'm on Zoom so much. All right. So there's my
an all access coach.
Always. That's how the results happen. I care about your results more than anything. So yeah, I'm going to be available. All right, guys.
Tammi, thank you so much for being here. We are very excited to welcome you home to Cleveland, Ohio, and thrilled that you will be our coach this spring.
Yes, I'm excited. I haven't been back to Ohio since I left March 9th of 2020. So I'm super pumped.
It's just how you left it.
Yeah, I'm glad. Good.
All right. Thanks, Tammi.
Take care.
All right, guys, a couple things before we move on from this bold conversation, because it is so important, because we know it has the impact on your business. We're going to be doing a couple special things this week for anybody that signs up or has already signed up or signs up by Friday at close of business, which I'm told should be 5 o'clock. Anybody who signs up for the Bold Experience will be entered into a raffle to have the Market Center cover 50% of that. And so we're going to be giving away 2 half scholarships to Bold. as well as a few other swag packages from Maps Coaching. So we're going to make those investments in you guys from an opportunity standpoint, but you have to be signed up by the end of this week. And guys, if you are coming off the holidays and you know that the credit card might be running a little bit closer to the limit than you want, and you got board dues coming up, there are 1,000 excuses to not do things, right? And one of the most important things that you'll learn in Bold and that we'll talk about here is the idea that the life that you want, right? The opportunity to not roll into the first month of the year with debt or with anxiety around where the money's coming from lies on the other side of an experience like this. So make the investment in yourself, double down on the opportunity. As they say, money's never been cheaper. And if you are looking for some support on that, please reach out to myself or Julia Cumming for more information about some loan programs that we have. So we do have the opportunity for folks to get some additional support and then pay that back to the Market Center, obviously. But don't waste any time. The last Bold that we had 176 agents at it. 176 agents the last time Bold was live in Northeast Ohio. We're capped at 110 this year, right? And so because we're working with other market centers, we only have 50 spots. And those 50 spots sell out. The opportunity's gone. So do not waste time. Take advantage of the opportunity to be entered into and get half of it paid for by the market center, or at least pick up some cool swag. And then we will we'll look forward to kicking things off in a big way on the 19th. Questions about this, please direct them to myself and we'll go from there. But very excited about this opportunity for our market center, guys.